The first game's a different story, but he says he will be playing for Egypt in the World Cup, which is massive for them. The season that he had was unbelievable, and he could single-handedly, pull Egypt through this group. I would say it's between them and Russia for second place, because Uruguay, by far the strongest team in this group. They have the strongest players. They've got Cavani, they've got Suarez, they've got Diego Godin. They've got a very strong team, Uruguay, so especially moving forward, they've got some quick players in the wings as well. They're the strongest team in that group, and probably the team that will end up topping the group. So I don't see too much of a dilemma to pick who'll finish top of that group. I think Uruguay will go top, but it's between Russia and Egypt for second. Russia obviously have that advantage in the field that they are at home. They've got their home crowd behind them. That will be a big advantage, I'd imagine, when it comes to those games against Saudi Arabia and Egypt, especially because they are weaker opposition. But Egypt obviously have Mohamed Salah, who could single-handedly do so much and maybe even get them past Russia and past Saudi Arabia to the point where they are finishing second in that group. For me, I'm going to go for top in the group, Uruguay, but finishing second, I'm going to go for Russia. I just feel like all round they've got a stronger team. Mo Salah will not be at full fitness. I'd imagine he's still carrying a knock, and he's going to be going in, with that injury just fresh off him. So I think it will be hard for him to really hit the highest of strides in this tournament. And that's the only reason I'm going for Russia in second. So Uruguay and Russia. Third and fourth, I'm going to put Egypt in third and Saudi Arabia in fourth. Group B, Portugal, Spain, Morocco, Iran. Now this is easy. I shouldn't have to actually say too much because I know absolutely nothing about Morocco and Iran. I don't think you can blame me for that, in all honesty. I hope there's no one in the comments going, you're not a true football fan, you don't know anything about Iran. Rightfully, I think I know nothing about Iran. I can't name any of the players. Portugal and Spain should be heading through. Portugal, the European champions. I actually have a very good feeling that they're going to perform really well this tournament. Yes, they won Euro 2016, but throughout the tournament, they weren't that great. They, were luckily getting by teams. They were winning 1-0 and such, going through an extra time and penalties. They weren't that great at all. Some people would say undeserving winners. But I think this tournament they're going to play really well. I think their team is much better now than what it was 2 years ago. They've got a lot of good players. It's probably just depth they're lacking compared to the other big teams. But Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, he's the best player on planet Earth in my opinion. Him himself, he can do wonders. Portugal can go far, I think. Spain ultimately, I think, will top the group. They've got a much better team than what they did 4 years ago. It was an embarrassment of a tournament for them when they were demolished off Holland, and they just weren't great throughout the tournament at all. And I think they will want to redeem themselves, and I think they can because they've got a much better team now. The players who were younger back in 2014 have developed into class players. I think they'll top that group. Spain to top it, Portugal to finish second, although I do think Portugal can go far, I really do. And for third place, I'm going to put Morocco and Iran in fourth. Group C, France, one of the favourites, Australia, Peru and Denmark. A group that, it's difficult to pick a second place. Ultimately, France are going to top it. I don't think there's any, and if they don't top it, then fuck knows what's wrong there. France have such a strong team, such strong depth, and are rightfully one of the favourites for the tournament. They've got so many good players forward and at the back. Griezmann, I think he'll have a fantastic tournament. He's got my money to be top goal scorer. He's a big player. They've got so many strong midfielders, Pogba, Kante, and their defence is just brilliant as well. They're easily going to top that group in my opinion. There's not much else to add on France. They're a powerhouse and are one of the favourites to go on and win the whole thing. They will go deep into the tournament, I would imagine. For second place, I think it's a tie-up between Peru and Denmark. Australia, I do want to see do well for the sake of Tom Rogic. Hopefully he has a good tournament. He is in my dream team. I could not leave him out of it. £1 million. Come to me, Tom. Hopefully he does have a good showing at the tournament. Class player, and obviously as a Celtic fan, fucking love him. But Peru and Denmark, I think it is between those two to take that second place. I think Peru are a team who could be overlooked here. They don't look too strong on paper, but if you take they play some nice football. You watch highlights of them play good football. They have the odd player here and there, some flair in the team. They could cause problems for the likes of Australia and Denmark. But Denmark obviously have a more kind of solid team. They're a more structured, kind of slower paced team, but they've got players like Christian Eriksen who can make a massive difference. They've got Delaney, who's just moved to Borussia Dortmund, repping. They've got some great players, Denmark. They've got Schmeichel in goals. They've got some strong players, and for that I think they will take second. I think Christian Eriksen, if he turns up and plays anywhere near his best football, he could single-handedly take them past Australia and Peru to take them to second place in that group. So I'm going to go for France in first, first, and Denmark in second. Group D, my opinion, the best group in the tournament. I think it'll be the most entertaining group in the tournament, and I'm looking forward to every single game. We've got Argentina, we've got Iceland, we've got Croatia and Nigeria. And before I don't do it, and before he kills me, Jack, I will mention a bet. I have got a bet that Iceland will not win one single game. If they don't win a game, I get money. But for every game they do win, I need to give my pal money. He wanted me to mention that. Although Iceland, I want to see do well. I would love to see them go far. Like, what they've done in the Euros was fantastic. Beating England, it was superb. And I want to see them do well. But will they in that group? I don't think so, ultimately. Croatia, Nigeria and Argentina, all very good teams. Nigeria not as much. I think that's where Iceland need to try their best to fight for the points. But you know, the Africans like to turn up and have a good tournament. You know, Ghana 2010, they went far. I think Nigeria have the quality and some players to really challenge to get out the group. But ultimately they're in a very strong group with Argentina and Croatia, because Croatia are one of those teams who are always dark horses. You know, they've got some fantastic players. I've got Luka Modric, I've got Kovacic, all the ones that end in itch. They've got a fantastic group of players, a very good team that can go far. Argentina are obviously superb runners-up in 2014. They've got Lionel Messi, they've got Sergio Aguero, they've got so many fantastic players. I think at the back it's just where they're a little bit weak, Argentina, and that's what might stop them from going further into the tournament. I don't think they'll get as far as what they did in 2014, in all honesty, but nonetheless they're going to top this group in my opinion. And I would love, personally, I want to say Iceland will finish second, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to say Croatia. They're a strong team, and I think Croatia have got what it takes to beat Iceland and Nigeria to take them up to, you know, 6 points region. But I'm going to say Argentina at top that group and Croatia to finish second, although Iceland, please do it again, please. I mean, granted that means I'd have to give my pal money, but I want to see them do well. But I'm going to go Argentina, Croatia. And third and fourth, I didn't do it for the last group. I would say Peru and Denmark. Third, I'm going to say Iceland. Fuck it. I'm just going to do it because I want them, but I think it will be Nigeria. But I'm putting Iceland. Group E, Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, Serbia. I kind of need to speed it up a little bit here. I've went longer than I wanted to. Group E, I think Brazil are going to top it. They're in a better place as well than what they won 2014, even though they were the home team. It was their tournament. They were hosting it. I still think they're in a much better place now. Their players are better. They've got a better starting 11. They rely heavily on Neymar, as we know. We've seen that in 2014 when he went down injured. It was the ending of their tournament, and they were humiliated by Germany. I think now they want a stronger tournament. They want to try and push as far to the final as possible, and they can ultimately do so. Some very talented players, both young and experienced. So I think they'll have a big tournament. I see them topping that group for second. You know, Costa Rica went far in 2014, shocked everybody, got to the quarterfinals. They were beaten on penalties by Holland. So Costa Rica, you know, want to build on that, will they? I don't think so. I don't think they'll get quite as far. Switzerland have some very good players. David Alba's Austrian, what the fuck? No, he's not on that team. I made a right tit to myself there. Switzerland do have some strong players though, Zerdan Shaqiri in there. And Serbia, I think they've got a very strong team, in all honesty. I arguably have one of the best centre-mid partnerships in the whole tournament, Nemanja Matic and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, two fantastic players, two really big players, and for that I think that can maybe take them through. So I'm going to say Brazil to top it and Serbia to finish second. Surprisingly, I do have a bias towards the European teams, don't I? Group F, Germany, Mexico, Sweden and South Korea. A group that, you know, should easily be topped by Germany, let's be honest. Germany, just, I cannot put any words how good a football team that is, how good a nation of footballers Germany have. Outstanding. I went and bought the Germany away top. It's the team that I'm supporting for it. Maybe going to be biased towards them in this video, but Germany's starting, there's not a better starting 11 in world football for both club or country. It is superb. Neuer, Kimmich, Hummels, Boateng, Hector, Götze. Götze's not even fucking taking. That shows you the depth in that nation. Gundogan, Khedira, fucking Kroos, Royce. It's just it's unbelievable the players that they have got to their disposal. The depth, it's just a fantastic starting 11. It is. Thomas Müller as well. Oh my god, it's fantastic. They'll top that group easily. Fantastic nation, fantastic team. For second place, you know, do I go with my little bit of bias that I have towards the nation of Sweden? We all know my love for Sweden. Do I go for Henrik's nation? Korea, I think, will finish bottom of the group. Can't add too much about them. Don't know too much about them. Mexico and Sweden, I think, will be the two teams battling for second place in that group. Mexico do have some good players in there. That Lozano, is it his name is? Something like that? I can't remember his name, but he's a good wee player. Chicharito in there. They've got some big players. Sweden as well, you know, Emil Forsberg, who has been fantastic at Leipzig for the last couple of seasons. John Guidetti, who, if he turns up, can score goals. Not, you know, a prolific player, but he can score. For second in that group, do you know what? I'm going to go Sweden. I think when it comes down to, you've seen them against Italy, they won 1-0 in aggregate. They defended so well against Italy. They stopped Italy from scoring goals. And if it comes to the position where Sweden need to do that against Mexico, I think they'll do it. And I think they can hold them off. If they could hold off Italy, they can hold off Mexico. So I'm going to put Sweden in second, Germany first, Mexico third, and Korea to finish fourth. Group G, Belgium, Panama, Tunisia, and England. England, will they make it out of the groups this time? Let's hope fucking not. But more than likely will. Panama and Tunisia, of course they get drawn against them. Of course they do. I don't see England going too far into the tournament. We'll see how they draw when I get through to the last 16 predictions. Belgium will top the group. Probably. I don't think England are that bad though to beat Belgium. I think Gareth Southgate has his plans, has his tactics. I think they could honestly beat Belgium. As much as that pains me to say it, they honestly could. But I'm going to still go Belgium to top the group. I think that's just more realistic. This is Belgium's last chance, really, of this whole golden generation. Of not being what, you know, people build them out to be. Very underwhelming for the players that they do have to their disposal. A fantastic team, but they've just not done much. And you know, now is probably the final chance to get it done with this this golden generation. So it's a big tournament for them. They've got some fantastic players as well. No, De Bruyne, Lukaku, Morales. Why Morales? Don't know why he comes to mind. Mertens. They've got some fantastic players. They could go far. England, they'll do what they always do. You know, we're gonna go and win this thing. Parked out in the fucking first game. I'm going to go Belgium at top, at England second. I know nothing about Panama and Tunisia. I'm going to predict Panama third. I was about to say Panama. Panama third, Tunisia fourth. Finally, we get on to the last group, so we can stop kind of sum up every team. We've got Poland, Senegal, Colombia, and Japan. Poland, I think, will top the group. I think they have a fantastic team, a dark horse as well. I would love to see Poland go far. Artur Boric, God bless you. I would love to see Poland go far. Love to see them go far. They've got some fantastic players. Robert Lewandowski, the best striker in world football in my eyes. You know, I've got a strong team. Kamil Glik at the back as the first defender that comes to mind. They've got some good, strong goalkeepers. Wozniak, Szczesny, Lucas Fabianski. Boric gone but not forgotten. Doesn't play for them anymore. They have got a strong lineup. Gil Krychowiak's in there. I think they'll top the group easily. For second place, now I think, you know, this one could be interesting. I don't think it'll be Japan. Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't play anymore. Or Shinsuke even. So yeah, I think they'll finish fourth. But Senegal really do have a strong team. They do, and I think they could give Colombia a game. Colombia though have a very strong team. They done decent enough. In 2014, Brazil did knock them out in the last 16 of the quarterfinals. But I think they could have a big tournament. But Senegal really do have a good team. Some good players. Koulibaly, Sadio Mane, that Keita. They have a strong side. And could go far if they can get their tactics right against the likes of Colombia. Ultimately, I'm going to go Colombia second though. I just think it's more realistic. James Rodriguez, big player. Radamel Falcao, Cuadrado, some strong players. I'm going to put Colombia second, Senegal third. But I think Poland will top that group, and I would love to see them go far. That does it for my predictions from the groups. Now, last 16. Here we go. I need to go and actually work out who'll be playing who now. I'll try and breeze past the knockout stages. I've given all my kind of wee in-depths about each team, so I'll try and breeze through this. Round of 16, I've got Uruguay and Portugal. I think Portugal will go through. Ronaldo, I think, is just the separator there. I think he's just too big and he'll want this so much. He's such a big player. He's so motivated to do well. I think Portugal will go through. Uruguay do have a strong team. I always kind of like to see Uruguay go far. One of the teams I always say I'd like to see them do well. But I think Portugal, as I said, I would not be surprised if they had a big tournament if they can avoid some of the bigger teams. I'm putting Portugal through against Uruguay. France and Croatia, that'll be a very entertaining game if that was to come up, but ultimately France are so strong, probably a better side all round. There's like not one position where you could say Croatia are better there. France probably will breeze through Croatia, although I still think it would be a very entertaining game. Brazil and Sweden, I think that would be an easy one to guess. Sweden will go for it, no, I'm joking. Brazil, I think would breeze past them. I don't think there would be much competition there. Sweden would have to play very defensive and hope and pray for a lot to fall their way. But I'm going to put Brazil through there. I just think that's a logical thing to do. Belgium, Colombia, I think that could be a very entertaining game, very interesting game. But Belgium, very strong, and as I said, it's their last chance to kind of do something with this kind of golden generation of players, as they call it. So I think they will go through past Colombia, too strong all around the field, whereas Colombia, you know, kind of struggle in some areas. So I'm going to put Belgium through. Spain and Russia, I don't think the home crowd can help them that much in this situation. Spain's team is miles apart from Russia's, so much better. Spain, I think, would easily go through there against Russia. Some big players in their side that would easily take the game in their direction. Argentina and Denmark, another one which I think is quite simple to guess. Argentina, I think, would blow Denmark out the water more than likely. Their attacking force is just so good, and Denmark would really struggle to contain it. Kasper Schmeichel would have to have the game of his life, quite frankly, to keep Argentina out of the game. Germany and Serbia, as I've already said, Germany are far too fucking good, and I think they'll just walk through Serbia. So Germany go through there, and finally Poland and England. I don't even care how many people are going to say you're only saying this because you're Scottish. I think Poland would knock out England. Bang, done, said it. Poland are through to the quarterfinals. Sorry, England. You choke. Give me one example in my lifetime where England have been impressive on the international stage. We're still talking about 1966, people. Granted, Celtic still talk about 1967, but you know what, England, you know, until there's signs that if you couldn't do it with Scholes, Lampard and Gerrard, how the fuck are you going to do it with? I don't even know who the centre mids are. You know, Dele Alli? Oh, dear God. Poland are through in my eyes. Quarterfinals, Portugal and France, the big rematch from the Euro 2016 final. Portugal obviously won. I don't think they'd win this time. France, I think, will go through in the quarterfinals. They'll want revenge, and I think they'll get their revenge. I just think they're too strong for Portugal, and as I said, one of the favourites to go through and win the whole thing. So I'm going to go for France to put out Portugal in the quarterfinals. Brazil and Belgium, big game. I think this would be the end of the line though for Belgium. I think Brazil are in a good position this year with a very good team and could get to the final. I'm going to put Brazil through there, and I think that would be the end of it for Belgium. Would it be the end for Roberto Martinez as manager? Would the Belgians look at the quarterfinals as a disappointment? With their side, maybe so, but I mean, when you look at it on paper, they are not the same kind of strength as a Brazilian side, I'd say, especially going by past tournaments. Just Belgium haven't played that well together. And I think Brazil will be able to beat them quite easily. Spain and Argentina, one of the only two South American teams I have left in it. Very, very top heavy on the European sides here. I think Spain would knock out Argentina though. As I said, I think Argentina's biggest weakness is probably their back line, and I think Spain would be able to breach it very easily. Very strong team, very good prolific forwards. I've not really got too many strikers actually when you think about it, because they left out the likes of Morata, but you know, on the wings they've got Isco and they've got Asensio who can come on. They've got some very, very good players. So I'm going to put Spain through there, and then Germany and Poland, I think this one's quite easy. As much as I'd love to see Germany and England just for Germany to fucking throw them about again, I'm going to put Germany through against Poland, but I think it'll be a close game in all honesty. As I said, I think Poland are a very strong side, but Germany to go through to the semi-finals. Semi-finals then, France and Brazil. I think France would beat Brazil. I've said all that I can really already. It was such an entertaining game, but I feel like France would go through in the end. It could go anyway. I think that's a very close game, but I think the French, you know, the likes of Griezmann and such, would just separate the game altogether and take France through to the final. Ultimately, I think they're the majority of people's favourites for this. I think France would get to the final against Brazil. And Spain, Germany, once again, a game I would love to see. I think that'd be fantastic now. Spain, who have struggled to really play at the same levels as they did in the likes of 2010, 2008, 2012. They've not hit those heights since the end of 2012. So they would want to get to the final, but I can't even put any words how good Germany I think they are. Fuck it, Germany through, easily through I think. Not easily, I think it'll be a very close, very good game, but I'm going Germany to go through in the final. Third place, I'm going to give it to Spain against Brazil, which means for 2 consecutive World Cups, Brazil would finish 4th. But what we're here to talk about is the final. France, Germany, what a final it would be. Euro 2016 semis. France did get the better of Germany that day, but I think Joachim Löw is ultimately going to win his 2nd World Cup. I think the team is just far too good. I think they are by miles the best team in the tournament. not by miles, right? That's maybe an exaggeration. But I think Germany will win it all. I think it's Germany's tournament once again. And I hope it is. Let's have support as well. So maybe I'm all being biased, but I don't think you can put it past Germany. You know, they're so strong on every position in the park, and they can easily change to play so many types of football. They can go from being such a nice structured, slow, defensive style team to a nice flow and attacking team. They've got the pace up front in Werner, but they can easily change that to someone more powerful, that target man such as Mario Gomez or Sandro Wagner. They've got so much depth there. I think Marco Reus is going to have a big tournament. Keep your eyes out, in my opinion. I think he could end up being player of the tournament. I think he's been dying for this moment. He is at his best fitness levels that he's been in years now, and he ended the season strong with Dortmund. He's looking good in the friendlies with Germany. I think he could have a big tournament, and I'd love to see him do really well. I mean, he's my favourite player in the world at the minute. So let's see how it goes, apart from maybe Mr. Dembele. Love you, Mr. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the ticket link in the description for that charity match. Let me know who you think will win the World Cup. For me, it will be the Germans. Angela Merkel will be partying once more. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all.